Hey friends, welcome to Andy's Audio Crap, where we talk about audio crapness and all of its crappy glory. Today we have a Kenwood. Let's talk about this dude. Before we get into talking about this Kenwood, I want to thank everybody who's gone out to my eBay store. It is Andy's Audio Crap, just like the channel here, without the apostrophe between the Y and the S. But anyways, Andy's Audio Crap on not YouTube, eBay. Put lots of parts out there. If you need parts for a piece of equipment, just let me know if it's not already out there, and if there's time, you can buy a parts unit and get you the part you need and just part the rest of it out. Love doing that. It's pretty fun. Take these things apart. Kind of heartbreaking in some scenarios, but you know what? You give a little to live a little. All right, and also records. Records are out there, and that's it. Now let's go into this. This is a model KR-6050. These are really common. It's pretty easy to find them. In fact, I've had 3 of them walk through the door in the last 2 months. They are roughly, I think they're 40 to 60 watts, somewhere in there. I can't remember exactly, but they're mid wattage, and they're fairly simple to work on. And on the scale, the Andy scale that I'm using for workability, they are, I would say somewhere in the like 5 range. They're not extremely difficult, they're not extremely easy, but they are laid out really well. Let me get one up here and show you what they look like. Gotta find a rag. Let's see here, a couple of rags. Yeah, that looks awesome sauce. I don't want to damage this one, but this is the one that I'm actively working on. All right, they are beastly. They are pretty big. So let's change the camera angle here so you can actually see it. Lighting's not real good, but you'll get the point. You have all of your board faces up tops available right in here. Pretty easy to reach this stuff. It is a little bit tricky to get up into here, but then when you look at the bottom, everything, whoop, I'm not gonna be able to turn it around. Everything's exposed on the bottom as well. So there's bottom plate, top plate, take it off. Everything's workable. And pretty easy, straightforward. There's not any trickery going on here. All the parts are available. And some common issues with these, all 3 of them that I've had this last 2 months, are the power switch. The power switch comes, when you turn it on, it just like, it sits there and it sounds like it's sparking on the inside, and the lights are going erratic, and it never goes out of safe mode. And that is the power switch. I did think originally it was like the relay or something like that, but it's absolutely not the relay. And you know, if you know, you know, but it was kind of a dopey thing to even think that. So what it is carbon buildup from time, use, and then just sitting around for a while. It just gets built up on the contact points. And so you just take that little gray box apart, which is really super easy. It's actually super easy to get to as well. Take that dude apart, take some really fine grained sandpaper and clean those contact points off. Put a little bit of liquid deox on there, and you're off to the races. Here's another solution for the switch problem. This is a part number, and you'll want that part, and you're going to put it in circuit here, and then you're going to mount it here. This isn't required every time, but it's definitely something that you should look into. Go ahead and research the blogs and figure out whether this is something that's going to suit your case if you're having this power switch problem. And all the pots, all the potentiometers and switches on the front here were also staticky, and so just a little bit of deox. And fortunately enough, on all of these pots and switches, the access point was from the top. It was super easy to get deox into every one of these, which is awesome. I love it when that happens. Knobs on these things are nice and heavy. They feel good. They are nice and shiny. These are really good receivers if you can keep them up and working. Oh, one suggestion is, if you don't want to open up the power switch and you can actually get it working, and it's, you know, like working, not sitting here flickering. You can just plug the dude into a power strip. Actually, plug the dude into a power strip first, get it working, and then use the power strip to turn it on and off. That should help. It may not alleviate the problem though, just FYI. All right, digging in to the functions, it has 2 sets of speakers it can run, A and B, or A and B. So A or B, or A and B, and they sound absolutely excellent. It does have a phono select on here, so you can plug in your phono. A lot of amps, when you plug in the phono, it deactivates the speakers, but this allows you to put your phono dedicated, or you can listen to it with speakers A and B on as well, so pretty cool. The treble and bass are very not necessarily sensitive, but the way that they've got this built is it's notched, so to set it between a notch, it kind of feels weird. Like, I want things to be in a notch, right, if there's notches there. So they do have it notched, and that makes it kind of an OCD thing for me, unfortunately. But they are very good and sensitive. They do really well. And the subsonic off and the high off are really your filters for your turntable, to keep the turntable from acting up. The balance is beautiful, works great. It is linearly graduated, so it's not like hypersensitive. The volume, I think, I want to say it's probably linear as well. If you watch some of Skylab's videos, he explains exactly what the deal is. So there's logarithmic and there's linear. I'm sure there's other types of volume knobs, and this one seems to be pretty linear, which means with each increase you get a proportionate increase in sound. A lot of the low watt amplifiers tend to be really low loaded, so that by the time you're at, you know, a quarter turn, you're almost maxing out the wattage, and then when you turn it up even higher, all you just start to get is distortion. It's a marketing thing, it's just what they did. Loudness on and off, and the loudness on this thing is absolutely beautiful. I love Kenwood's loudness, even on their receivers that came out in the 90s, their loudness was great. All of this is your tape. You've got wide and narrow, and then you have your aux, phono, AM, and FM, and that's really it. It's pretty basic, but the party trick on this dude is the meters. It has UV meters, and if we'll turn it up here, you probably won't be able to hear me talk, but you'll see them moving. UV meters are so cool. Lights in this thing are also pretty easy to get to, but they are soldered when you go to replace them. So there's a bank of 3 of them sitting right here. I didn't have to do any of the small lights sitting behind like the stereo indicator. All right, that is that on this thing. We can look at the back here real quick. Maybe that might benefit some. Let's see if I moved it far enough away. I did. All right. So on the back, you have just the bank of inputs. You have your FMDE emphasis, and if you change that, you're gonna change how it pulls in the station, I believe. Somebody can correct me if I got it wrong on that. Your antennas are over here, and then your outputs are over here. Now, the outputs are stacked left to right. It's always fun when I hook a speaker up for the first time. I typically hook them up wrong. So I'll, like on this one, when I got my first one in, it had been a while since I'd seen one, Kenwood in this series, and so I hooked the first speaker over here and the second speaker over here, and then I got no sound out of the left channel, and then moved it over here and got the sound, of course. But so you just always have to be, that'll give you a little bit of a heart attack when that happens. Just like, gosh dang it, man, I don't want to replace those parts. I don't want to play in there. All right, and you'll notice here though that it is a 4 to 16 ohm, which is nice. So you can load some pretty heavyweight speakers, pretty high demand speakers onto this thing. Right now, as it sets, I have it just as is, no maintenance done to it whatsoever as far as recapping. The main caps, power caps, inbounds I did test those and they tested out with intolerance, so I just kind of assume everything else is going to be intolerance too, especially if it's running and the dim light's not on. So that is it, all good. All three of these dudes were working. No big issues outside of the power switch. Wonderful receivers. If you get a chance to get one, pick one up, do it. That's all I've got to say. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.